Hello, students. Here I am again, ready to teach you a little bit about literature. The last video you watched was on what is literature. We discussed what literature is, and for a quick review, literature is the best written expression of the best thoughts, okay? The best thoughts are those things that are lovely and pure and righteous and honest and good report, praiseworthy and virtue, and I might have missed one. Okay, so it's the best written expression of the best thoughts. Okay, so that's one reason why we study literature, because they're good things to read about and to put into your heart and your mind. The purpose of literature is to cultivate love. Okay, you wouldn't think that by reading good literature you would learn to love, but you can. Okay, we don't always have out in the world examples of love, so in books, in stories, we see examples of an expression of love, different expressions of love. So on your sheet that looks like this, it says on the top, it says the purpose of literature. You should have that one out. The other one was what is literature? This one says the purpose of literature. You have two lines on the top. So I'm going to make this a really short video because hopefully it'll upload faster. Okay. So for the first two lines, I want you to write the purpose of literature is to cultivate love. What does cultivate mean? Cultivate means to work at doing something to get something back. Let me give you an example. If you have some seeds in your hand, let's say you have an apple seed. You go outside, you make a hole in the ground, you put it in the ground, you cover it up. It's not going to grow on its own. You have to take care of it. You have to make sure you put it in sunlight. The sunlight hits the ground. You have to make sure you water it. When it sprouts and comes up, you can't abandon it and come back and think you're going to have an apple tree. You got to keep coming back, and you need to keep watering it. Make sure it doesn't dry out. If weeds try to crowd it out, you need to pull the weeds around it. Maybe add some fertilizer and encourage it for the right conditions to grow up to be a big apple tree. Love is something that you need to work at learning how to love. Um, Learning examples of love in stories or in the Bible, reading the Bible cultivates love. Those are things that help us grow in love. So, what are the things that we need to love? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to turn my okay. So on the board, I wrote for you the purpose of literature. Okay. Let me get this out of the way. The purpose of literature is to cultivate love. Cultivate. Cultivate. Okay. Then after that, it says the 7 loves that are encouraged by literature. The 7 loves that are encouraged. There are 7 things that we can cultivate to encourage love within literature. When we read good literature based on those things that are honest and pure and lovely and good report, when we read those things, we will cultivate love in 7 different areas. Okay? Let me get out of the way so you can write that. Pause if you need to pause to write your answer on your sheet. Okay? Okay. So when we read good literature, it encourages us to love God. So for number 1, you're going to write God. The second thing that good literature encourages us to love is God's word. So I think most of you probably already have this written down. If you don't, pause the video. I'm going to move the camera over to where our 7 love languages are. Not love languages, our 7 loves. Okay. These are the seven, they're called the seven natural affections. Okay. Number 2 was God's word. Number 3, it cultivates love in home and family, for the home and for the family, not in, for the home and for the family. It encourages love towards individuals or individuality. It encourages love for nature. Nature is all the animals and plants. It encourages us to take care of and love God's creation. It encourages the love of learning. You will enjoy learning if, and it's a love you must cultivate. And number 7 is a love of liberty. Nobody wants to be without liberty. Everybody would, it's liberty is enjoyable. It's something you want to live in liberty, and it's one of the things that we enjoy in this country is our liberty, but also spiritual liberty. We love spiritual liberty. Okay, that was a really quick lesson. These are called the several natural affections. So as we begin to read The Apple and the Arrow, which the book will go home in about a week because we're still going to do author study. As we read through the book, The Apple and the Arrow, we will learn to identify these 7 natural affections in our reading, amongst other things, amongst conscious, what the conscience is. You will learn customs of that country, the time period, the setting. You will learn principles. So you're going to have fun reading The Apple and the Arrow. So this is a short video, and I will we will have literature again on Wednesday. I'm sorry, Tuesday. I believe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right. So I'll talk to you later. You guys have a nice weekend. Bye bye.